I'm coming. If you hand over to government to maintain, they budget the money and share it.
To live in that particular place that the house is. So it's supposed government to really compensate them so that and pay them and relocate them to where they are going and build another house for them.
Careful engineering and management to meet human needs. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Property Doctor, the show that brings to property owners and property users the easiest remedies to acquire buildings, to maintain your homes, to manage your homes, and to help you beautify your homes as well. This program will help you save time and money. And for the professionals, it will give you tips on how to maintain your resources and manage your time. My name is Fumi Amunega Ajayi. You can connect with us on Facebook at Property Doctor NG, on Instagram at Property Doctor NG, and on YouTube at Property Doctor NG. You can connect with us on Twitter at Property Doc NG. You can send a message to us on 0903 123 9999. In some parts of the country, we observed that demolition took place and some people lost their properties, their buildings, and other things inside the building. This is very sad. But you know, these buildings had some issues, and that was why they were demolished. Properties with correct document and approval, building approvals, were not touched. Please sit down, relax, and watch this episode because we have someone who is learned in this area. He will tell us what to do and watch out for when buying properties. It's not good for us to work so hard, get your money, and buy properties only for you to lose them because you didn't do your due diligence. So we have with us in the studio Estate Surveyor Oladele Alade. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So he will be talking to us today about the important things we need to know while buying a property. What can you call a property?
Okay. A property is any asset that can be possessed or that can be touched. And that's the tangible properties. Also, we have what we call intangible properties, like patent rights, trademarks, software, copyrights, etc.
Okay, those are properties. So whatever we can feel and whatever we can touch is a property. That is the property we are trying to talk about today. So how they are tangible properties. So how can you get this property? How can you get a property?
First of all, if you want to get
like
a piece of land or a built property, you first of all think of the budget. You have to budget for the piece of land or a property you want to buy. Probably if you want to buy a property, let's say in Kubwa in Abuja, a residential property on the average that you can build now goes for between 5-7 million naira. So that means if you don't have up to that 5-7 million naira, you don't have any reason of even going to look for a property.
So the important thing is that you must
budget.
get
you must
the
budget
money.
For,
you must
exactly.
make a provision for funds.
Exactly.
Now, what other things do you have to look out for if you want to buy a property?
Okay, there are so many things, but let me just mention a few. You think of the document covering the property.
The document.
Document, is it a land or property with CFO? Does it have a land of allocation? If in
kind
some
of title.
Title covering the land.
Okay.
The title document covering the land. In some states of the Federation, if you want to buy a property, you can buy a property that didn't have a government CFO or letter of allocation.
Or right of occupancy.
You buy, most people, especially in the southern part of Nigeria, they buy land from all these community and the rest. So you have to get the title evidencing the ownership from the community before you buy such property.
Okay, what if you, like you just mentioned in the south or some areas that they don't have government allocation, if you bought a piece of land from a family or a community, how can you document that kind of property?
If you buy such property, even before you venture into buying the property, you have to go to the land registry or land ministry to confirm whether that place is gazetted by the government. That is, whether that place is, being earmarked by the government for future allocation.
Okay.
So if the place is outside government, boundary, you cannot go ahead and buy. But if it's within government scheme, there's no need of you, venturing to buy such.
So it's very important you go to the land registry
confirm.
or to confirm whether
Yes,
that area
is being gazetted or not.
Okay. Okay. But if it is not gazetted, then you can buy from the family.
Yes.
Then
you
can you do your documentation on that land then, and it will be put into the registry or something?
Yes. After buying such property, you now apply to the government for what we call governor's consent.
Okay.
Government, that's in other part of the country, aside Abuja, where you apply for minister's consent.
Okay.
You apply for what we call governor's
consent.
For them to now be aware that such transaction is taking place.
Exactly. Okay. So when you get all these things done, do you need to get maybe like a land surveyor to help you search for the land, or to do your proper paper documentation to survey the land for you and put the document together before you take it to the registry? Or is it after paying for the land before you do that?
After you've ascertained that the place is free from government scheme, after you might have acquired the place, you now get a land surveyor to prepare what we call survey plan.
Okay.
For you for the land. And the survey plan, what is contained in the survey plan is the size of the land, the shape of the land, then the seal of the surveyor that carried out that very survey. So that if there's any problem in future, they will get back to the surveyor to clarify.
Okay, you were talking about making some inquiry.
Yes.
Is that what is called a search report?
Okay.
Is that a search report?
Search reports majorly is being carried out for a piece of land that is being granted by the government.
Okay.
That's the search report. What it entails is, what is contained in the search report is the registered owner of the property. From the search report, you'll be able to know the registered owner of the property, the description of the property, the encumbrances, that is the impediment or the burden. The search report will show you whether the place is being mortgaged. There are some people that will use their piece of land to secure mortgage from the bank. So from the search report, you'll be able to know whether the place is being...
like a history or
exactly
something
of the land. Exactly.
So who can conduct a search report for you if you want to buy a piece of property?
Majorly, the lawyer carry out the search report, but that doesn't mean any professional in the built industry can't go and carry out
and make an inquiry to get a report.
Exactly.
And they will attend to him properly?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after the search report, is that when somebody now goes ahead to make payment for the plot of land?
After the search report, like in Abuja now, if you want to carry out search, you go to Aegis and do your search. Before, you carry out the search in the area council, but now you go to Aegis. In some state capitals, you go to the land registry to carry out search report.
Okay.
So after you might have carried out the search report and it's positive, that is when you can now go ahead and buy the property. But before you even go ahead to buy the property, after the search report, you go back to the land and inspect the property. Is it existing on ground? Because there are some documents flying over throughout, various parts of the country. You may have the document, but the land is not.
So that means it's important when you have
existing.
Your money to buy a piece of land, you must know the area that you want to buy the land, exactly. Or the location of the land before you start carrying out your search to know whether the land truly exists and belongs to whoever wants to sell to you.
Exactly.
Okay, now we've been talking about land. What about buying properties in estates?
In estates.
What are those things that we need to do, or what information do you need to know before you can buy a property in an estate, or maybe a residential estate?
Okay, if you want to buy a property in a residential estate, most of the mass housing, they
Yeah.
have what we call a global certificate.
All right.
You get, so in each, letter of offer issued to subscribers, they will give them what we call global CFO. From the global CFO, you'll be able to know the authority that granted the land for such development. So you can now go ahead and confirm the genuineness of that very particular property from relevant agency. It may be FCDA, it may be Federal Housing Authority.
That's why if
may
you're
be-
in Abuja.
but if you're in Abuja, if you're in any of the state capital, you go to the relevant land registry
to make your
to make your inquiry.
All right. We have in the studio with us estate surveyor Oladele Alade, and he's telling us a lot of things that we need to know so that we can buy land in the appropriate area. Let's go on a short break, but before we go, Property Doctor has some products that can help you stay healthy. We have the PD soap, the PD bleach, the PD air freshener, we have the PD paint. In the paint section, we have the emulsion paint, the silk paint, the matte paint, so many products that can help you stay healthy and help you save money. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. We have estate surveyor Oladele Alade in the studio, and he's been telling us so many things about buying of properties. He told us the kind of search we need to carry out. You need to have your money, which is very important, and also the kind of documents you should expect, and make sure you see the land so that they don't sell a plot of land for you, maybe in a cemetery or somewhere. I heard somebody making that kind of comment sometimes. That's what I'm saying here. Somebody will not sell a plot of land to you in the cemetery. So right now we want to find out who are the professionals that we can connect with when buying a property.
When buying a property, first of all, you need to contact the estate surveyor and valuer. You may contact a lawyer to assist you in buying the property.
You need the services,
Yes.
because you need that
You need-
for
you need
your agreement and all that.
Exactly.
Who else can we talk to?
So any professional in the building industry can be of assistance.
Well, anybody can sell his plot of land to you, but if you want to take the decision, is what you're talking about now, that you need these people to help you
Exactly, to assist you.
to take the
take
decision in
buying the
buying.
property.
You know, you can get land by gift, maybe from your parents. You can get
By
it
purchase.
by purchase, by inheritance.
Inheritance.
You can get your property in different forms and from different ways. But he's talking about when you want to buy a property, those things that you need to look out for. What are the documents you need to hold for you to say that I have a property? What are the documents you think is very important that we must hold?
Okay. In Nigeria, you should be able to have what we call the certificate of occupancy. It's very important.
That's what it's called, CFO.
CFO.
Okay.
Then we have what we call the RFO, or the allocation letter.
What's RFO?
Right of occupancy.
Okay.
Is the right of occupancy. That's the allocation letter.
The allocation letter.
It's from the allocation letter I'll be able to know the term, given the rent you are going to pay. You get
Yes.
all those things.
Yeah.
Okay, and the size of the land and the rest.
Okay.
Then the survey plan. Because majorly in Nigeria, we have a big problem. More than 70% of the properties you see around, they are what we call dead properties.
What do you mean by dead property?
They are dead because most of them don't have any title. They don't have CFO, they don't have allocation, especially both in the northern and the southern part of the country. And that alone is contributing to the economic problem we have in Nigeria. Most of them, you can't use them to secure loan from banks.
Oh.
Even if you have a property that are worth 100 million naira, if you don't have a government title, nobody will even give you 1 million naira on that property.
Okay, so it's important
It's
we get a
important.
good title,
The title
for
for the
our
land.
properties so that you can use it as a a collateral, it can become a proper asset. You have something that you can hold on to. Now, is there any advice you have for our viewers so that they don't make mistakes whenever they want to buy land or a building?
My advice to any prospective investor is that if you want to buy a land or a building, you have to do what we call investigation of the title. Okay. You now inspect the place, you inspect the property, whether land or building, to ascertain that is, existing on ground. Those are the two major things I would advise any prospective buyer to do before, spending money to buy.
Do you need somebody to help you do that? To help you inspect the land whenever you want to buy?
If you want to inspect the land, you contact the professionals in the beauty industry. You can contact the estate surveyor and valuer, and contact the land surveyor.
Okay. So they can guide you.
They can guide you, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you for being with us on the program, Property Doctor, today. We hope you have learned something. And we hope to see you same time next week when we'll be bringing another interesting topic that we'll be discussing with you on that particular day. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you and God bless our dear country, Nigeria. Bye.
I'm coming. If you hand over to government to maintain, the budget, the money, and share it.
To live in that particular place that the house is. So it's supposed government will compensate them so that and pay them and relocate them to where they are going and build another house for them.
Careful engineering and management to meet human needs.